It's been 6 months since MOE released full SBB, but it's still riddled with problems. To understand why, we first need to go back to a dark history of Singapore's education system. Because unlike what people think, our system wasn't always so atas. Being a newly independent country, we had to start fending for ourselves. And to do that, we needed a solid education system. But the leaders were scratching their heads because during the 1970s, Singapore was facing massive dropout rates and no one had any idea why or how to solve it. But then came Mr. Goh Keng Swee. He made a report on the Ministry of Education in 1978, also known as the Goh Report. Through that, he realized that the high dropout rates was because of one single problem: inadequacy. Many citizens were struggling with their studies, not because they were lazy, but they were just academically weaker. And the single curriculum education wasn't helping them one bit. So that's when the Parliament endorsed and implemented the new education system, from which came the policy that all of us are so familiar with today, streaming. And that was exactly what Singapore needed, because students were able to study according to their own capabilities without being pressurized by a rigid system. And as a result, Singapore's literacy rate skyrocketed, giving us another chance of survival at the international stage. But what the leaders did not realize were the hidden problems of streaming slowly brewing right under their eyes. As time went on, people could see a trend. Those in the express or IP streams were able to get better job opportunities and live better lives, while those from the normal streams were slowly but surely left behind in the dust. This caused major segregation and stereotypes between students of different academic streams. It went on so far that even the government had to intervene. The old system was falling apart, waiting to collapse under societal influences at any time, and MOE had to think fast. So, in 2013, MOE silently announced a new initiative, and this was where subject-based banding officially started. They allowed students from 12 prototype schools to take subjects at a different level. But the thing is, no one really cared about it. It seemed too insignificant, barely concerning 5% of the student population. But as time went on, MOE slowly expanded this initiative, including more subjects at more levels in more schools. But if SBB has been running for more than 10 years, wouldn't MOE have solved most of its major issues? Apparently not, because as 2024 came closer, people started realizing how pivotal SBB was going to be, and more parents started voicing out their worries. It started off well. Parents agreed that such a system would provide personalized learning and reduce social segregation that streaming had brought about. Citizens supported the noble aim of SBB, but soon, concerns started rising. Parents were worried about the social mixing that could occur in classes. As Asians, they hated the idea of their kids being negatively influenced. They feared that their students' progress would be hindered by their academically weaker peers. But more than that, people started questioning the system. As the school year started, complaints about complicated timetables started emerging. Students had to keep changing classes for every subject, wasting precious curriculum time. And for the teachers, many wondered if they were capable enough to teach at the different levels. These were all valid concerns that had to be addressed, and MOE tried their best too. They released videos, documentaries. Still, the citizens just weren't convinced. But it might not be that bad after all. Yes, there will be challenges, and it won't be perfect overnight. But Singapore has always been innovative with its policies. We started with a survival-driven mindset, transitioned into an efficiency-driven period, and are now in an ability-based phase. And according to PISA 2022, our systems do work. In the current global economy, educational standards have dramatically shifted. Singapore knows that to remain competitive, it needs to create thinkers, not skilled workers. And full SBB is a step in that direction, nurturing the joy of learning in a personalized way. So the question is this: is SBB the best way to continue maintaining high standards as a nation, or is there a more deep-rooted issue that we need to solve first?